From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, May 31st, 2016. Silver is trading at $16.03 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,213 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $544. Antiwar.com reports Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu surprised many people on Monday when he announced that his government is ready to hold talks on the basis of the Arab Peace Initiative over 14 years after the initiative was first introduced. Netanyahu did not endorse the initiative in his comments, but did say that it included positive elements and could serve as the basis for constructive negotiations with the Palestinians. Israel suspended the last peace talks in early 2014 after reneging on a prisoner release. Only last year, Netanyahu deputy Silvan Shalom had declared the Arab Peace Initiative unacceptable and insisted no Israeli government would ever accept it as the basis for the peace process. The plan offers Israel normalizations with the Arab world in return for Palestinian statehood and a negotiated resolution of long-standing disputes, including the Palestinian refugee issue. Netanyahu had also criticized the plan in the past, insisting there were many Israeli red lines that the offer crossed. A statement on Sunday by over 200 retired Israeli security officials, which urged the acceptance of the peace initiative, likely played a role in the sudden change of heart. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports a Senate committee report into opiate overprescription at a Veterans Affairs hospital in Wisconsin found systemic failures in a VA Inspector General's internal investigation. Wisconsin's Tomah VA Medical Center was the subject of the Senate Homeland Security and Government Affairs Committee report. In the report scheduled for release on Tuesday, the committee said the VA Inspector General's office began investigating claims opiates were being overprescribed to patients with post-traumatic stress disorder in 2011 at the Wisconsin hospital, according to USA Today. The Inspector General's internal investigation into the claims of overprescription was perhaps the greatest failure to identify and prevent the tragedies at the Tomah VAMC, according to the report. The committee slams the Inspector General's office for abandoning key evidence, for contracting its investigation, and for failing to make its findings public. The agency failed to determine whether the allegedly overprescribed opiates were being prescribed in a dangerous combination with other drugs, according to the report, adding the agency also failed to determine whether employees felt threatened with retaliation if they raised concerns related to the overprescription claims. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spendabit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spendabit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.co. Reuters reports the director of the Cincinnati Zoo insisted on Monday that a 3-foot barrier around a gorilla enclosure was adequate, even though a 4-year-old boy was able to climb over it and fall in, forcing zookeepers to shoot the ape dead after it grabbed him and dragged him around. The death of the gorilla, a 17-year-old western lowland silverback named Harambe, outraged animal lovers, about 20 of whom staged a vigil outside the zoo. More than 200,000 people signed an online petition on change.org to protest the shooting, some demanding justice for Harambe and urging police to hold the child's parents accountable. Thane Maynard, director of the Cincinnati Zoo and Botanical Gardens, said in an answer to questions at a news conference about the incident on Saturday, "The barriers are safe. The barriers exceed any required protocols. The trouble with barriers is that whatever the barriers, some people can get past it." Maynard stood by the decision to shoot the gorilla after he dragged the boy around by the ankle. He said the ape was not simply endangering the child, but actually hurting him. Maynard faced a series of questions about how a 4-year-old was able to climb the barrier and through the bushes and reach the 15-foot drop into the water surrounding the enclosure. He said zookeepers would review the barrier, but made no promises to redesign it. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.